Sally Jensen with news from here in Taiwan and around the world. Taiwan's military is gearing up to perform a range of honors at the upcoming presidential inauguration. For the latest rehearsal, soldiers in New Taipei wheeled out the big guns. Jaime Ocon was there.
With less than 2 weeks to go until President-elect Taichung takes office on May 20th, soldiers at this army base in New Taipei City are rehearsing one of the oldest military traditions, the 21-gun salute. This ceremony, which has been around since the 14th century, is the highest military honors a country can give. It's usually performed to pay tribute to foreign leaders, the national flag, or the president. The military here is letting the media get a preview of the ceremony, and the leader of the event says the hardest part is the pressure of representing her country.
我们在军礼勤务上，我们会因为我们代表国家的门面，所以在训练上我会更加苛刻，跟以更高姿态的标准来训练。 我觉得最难的是，我必须要很专注的投入在其中，因为我必须要掌握场上所有突发的状况。
The exercises on display today are just to rehearse the movements and don't use real ammunition. Part of the drills also incorporate thick jackets to practice staying focused even in hot temperatures. After all the steps have been memorized, the military will then incorporate the cannons, which will be in sync with the beat of the drum during the national anthem. Taiwan's military only has one chance to perform this highest of military honors for President-elect Taichung, and it's hoping that in the next 2 weeks it can get all the steps right to demonstrate its discipline. Devin Tsai and Jaime Ocon in New Taipei City for TaiwanPlus.
Chinese President Xi Jinping has arrived in Serbia in the second stop of his first trip to Europe in 5 years. Xi was welcomed at the airport by Serbian President Aleksandar Vučić and his wife. The two leaders are expected to have a meeting in the capital Belgrade on Wednesday. Xi's visit coincides with the 25th anniversary of NATO's bombing of China's embassy there. The incident on May 7, 1999 killed 3 Chinese journalists and triggered outrage from China and an apology from then US President Bill Clinton. China has invested billions of dollars in Serbia for infrastructure and other projects. It's considered China's most important partner in the Balkans. To find out more about the significance of Xi Jinping's visit there, reporter Laurel Stewart spoke to geopolitical analyst Giulia Anna Ferenczi.
Xi Jinping is visiting Serbia and Hungary. He's just visited France. Why also these two countries?
Well, this is an important question because Serbia is not an EU member state, but Serbia has been part of the 16, which then became 17+1 cooperation framework between Central Eastern European countries plus Western Balkan countries and China. It's been a decade since this cooperation framework is out there, but it hasn't been very effective when it comes to what China promised. Serbia is still obviously a very big supporter of Chinese investment in its own country, in the region. And perhaps this is also telling of why China wants to go personally to Serbia and to again send a message that this is a good example to show that China remains influential in the region. But when we look at what's happening inside Serbia, we see that there is a lot of opposition also to projects that come without consultation locally, that come to really interfere in how the infrastructure landscape of a country is being reshaped by this influence with Chinese labor.
So you just mentioned opposition within Serbia about Chinese investment in their country. What kind of outcome are we expecting from this visit?
Serbia is in need of infrastructure investment, and we know that there's already a lot of that going on in mining, gold mines, and also railway and highways being built. So obviously this contributes to the daily lives of the people. So I do understand that there is a legitimate need for infrastructure. It's how that infrastructure investment is being done and what's the price to pay long term. I think that's what is of concern. So I think Xi Jinping is going forward with keeping Serbia close because that allows it to be influential in the region. Again, this is a key region for the Belt and Road Initiative, for the Silk Road. Obviously, all countries are in need of more investment. It's just what kind of investment these countries receive is the question. And when it comes to China, we've had plenty of experience by now to understand that these investments come with a price for our security, for our over-reliance.
That was Giulia Anna Ferenczi speaking to our reporter Laurel Stewart. TikTok's parent company is suing the US government over a law that could see the social media app banned there. China-based tech company ByteDance says the law, which requires it to sell the app to a US company or face a ban, is unconstitutional and violates free speech. It points to a lack of public evidence supporting US concerns that the app may pose a security threat and says that divestment would be unfeasible. The law signed by President Biden in April is meant to address national security concerns over Chinese access to US data. North Korea's long-serving propaganda leader has died at the age of 94. Kim Ki-nam set the core principles under all three of North Korea's dynastic leaders and led the country's propaganda department for over 60 years. State media reports that leader Kim Jong-un paid his respects at a Pyongyang funeral home. The central city of Taichung now leads the country in severe bicycle accidents. The disturbing data has road safety advocates calling for some important changes. John Van Trieste has this story.
Taiwan's central city Taichung has an extensive network of public bike stations, but cycling here can be dangerous. Last year, the city, with a population roughly that of Chicago, saw close to 3,500 cycling accidents ending in injury. There were also 22 cycling deaths. The number of accidents last year was more than double the number in Taipei. Some of the city cyclists aren't surprised.
会很害怕，对啊，所以有时候会不小心骑去人行道上面，因为就是怕跟摩托车会太靠近。
自己的小孩的话，我就几乎不让他骑在就是有一般马路上，就是有专用道的才会让他骑。
Cycling lanes here are scattered and not always respected. Cyclists say they are mostly left to contend with other traffic on the road. Traffic safety advocates also point to the city's many unusually shaped intersections. They have some concrete advice for officials.
透过这个车道瘦身的机会，来顺便修饰路型，让路口变得相对较正交，对交通安全应该是有改善的效果。
The city says it's taking note of the traffic safety problem.
将配合市府各相关单位进行道路整体环境改善与检讨时并同研议。
But without clear measures, cyclists in Taichung will continue to face dangers on the road. Delphine Chen and John Van Trieste for TaiwanPlus.
A German academic is still missing in eastern Taiwan. He disappeared just days before a 7.2 magnitude earthquake hit the region. Ralph Klausnitzer was in Taiwan to speak at a university in Taipei before heading to Hualien County by bus. He was last seen near Taroko National Park on March 26th. His family lost contact with him 3 days later. GPS data from his devices suggest he was in the park when the April 3rd earthquake devastated Hualien, killing 18 people and injuring more than 1,000. Shoppers in Taiwan can breathe a sigh of relief after inflation in April reached a seasonally adjusted 9-month low. Taiwan's consumer price index grew 1.95% last month compared to April last year. That's despite recent hikes in electricity prices of around 11% and higher prices for eating out and rents. But prices on important daily goods decreased for the first time in 4 years. Taiwan's Statistics Office says it may take more time to see the full impact of the power price hikes and will keep a close eye on inflation over the next several months. A major power outage hit the northern city of Taoyuan on Tuesday, just after Taiwan Power Company announced new inspection and support plans there.
69 kV 的输电线，那它是遭民间的升空车碰触， 造成整个线路的断裂，停了大概11545户，那在14点22分全数复电。
Taoyuan has seen as many as 20 power outages in the past 2 weeks. It's raised concerns about the stability of the electricity supply. Taipower says its plan will deploy technicians from neighboring districts to inspect lines and equipment in the city. Taiwan's National Palace Museum is trying to help elderly people stay mentally fit with a new set of picture cards. The flashcards feature art treasures from the museum's collection that were designed in partnership with the Taipei Hospital. Taiwan is set to become a super-age society in the next couple of years, and preventing or easing dementia in older people has become an important social topic. Experts say the cards can function as a trigger for memory and activate cognition. The head of the National Palace Museum hailed the project.
透过教材跟教具的一个互动与认知然后让文物转化为生活体验跟探索生命记忆的一个钥匙。
A train line connecting Jiayi City in southern Taiwan with the scenic mountain area of Alishan is expected to reopen later this year. As Leslie Liao reports, this beloved and historic rail line is being revived 15 years after a typhoon knocked it out of service.
Waking up at 3:30 a.m. may not sound appealing to most people, but if you're in Jiayi in southern Taiwan soon, there's something that makes the early wake up worth it. Jiayi neighbors the Alishan National Scenic Area, a mountain resort area known for its forests and gorgeous scenery. It's home to the Alishan Forest Railway, a train line that snakes through steep slopes and can take visitors from the city straight to one of the best sunrise viewing spots high up in the mountains.
开到半山上的时候，那个雾看起来就有点像那个云那样。
When you start and it's dark and all the people sitting, waiting, and then you come here and it's getting clear, it's nice. I like the train ride a lot.
The historic rail line is steeped in history. It was used for logging in the 1900s, but has since become a tourist attraction.
I think it's beautiful and it's really nice, really pleasant.
But in 2009, Taiwan's deadliest typhoon on record, Typhoon Morakot, damaged part of the railway. Morakot devastated the rail line, warping tracks, distorting terrain, and flooding stations. The damage cut off Shizilu Station, halfway up the mountain from the Alishan Station.
我们进来的时候，路线都是中断的，根本连台车那都不能进去。
Later typhoons disrupted repair efforts, causing even more damage to the railway. These days, visitors who want to get all the way to the top of Alishan need to take the train to Shizilu Station, then transfer via shuttle bus. Though it still gets people to their destination, it's not as convenient as taking a single ride.
到这边已经要3个小时，
接驳车听说好像要等1个小时。
But now there's good news. The Alishan Forest Railway is slated to make a full return to service in July, 15 years after it was cut off.
希望在7月就能够正式的全线通车。
Part of the reason why repairs have taken so long is because fixing train tracks 2 kilometers above sea level is complicated. Everything from materials to equipment had to be carried up the mountain manually.
就是都要扛着机具，然后走山路，然后山路那时候有一些都是一个人走，要一边靠着墙壁这样，不然就是这边就是悬崖。
Though it took a decade and a half, the Alishan Forest Railway's grand reopening is on the horizon. Soon, it will be all aboard for everyone looking for a ride to one of the best sunrise spots in Taiwan. Devin Tsai and Leslie Liao for TaiwanPlus.
Thank you for watching What's Up Taiwan. You can visit the TaiwanPlus website or follow our social media for more stories from Taiwan and around the world. Finally, check out these scenes of over 250,000 runners across 169 countries taking part in the world's biggest run for charity. I'm Sally Jensen. Take care and see you next time.